What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be doing Sun in the 7th house. And when Sun goes in the 7th house, thing goes down. See, when you know enough about astrology and when somebody gives you a time of birth, you just know right away where their sun is going to be. You know, if it's at noon, you know it's going to be in the 10th house. If it's during twilight time, you know it's going to be in the 7th house. And if it's early in the morning around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, then you know it's going to be in the 1st house. So this is how I knew, you know, when sun goes down, thing goes down in the 7th house because it's twilight time. So what happens when sun goes in the 7th house? Well, what is sun? Sun is your ego, your self-esteem, government, your fatherly figure. Okay, it is your soul, it is your vitality, it is what keeps you alive, pretty much. Okay, and 7th house is a house of legal binding, like marriage, house of business partnership, house of sexual relationships, house of courthouse is seen from this, like law. Okay, so 7th house also represents other people, because 1st house is yourself, 7th house is other people. You know, it also is like the public life, like the 10th house. Okay, so 1st house, which is the original sign of Aries, where sun is excelled. Okay, and the 7th house, the original house of Libra, sun is debilitated. Why is that? Well, it's simple. Let's say I was a king, which I kind of am, you know, and if I went to a market alone and I went up to a merchant and I liked, you know, what he was selling, he had nice shoes. Okay, so I just take, you know, one gold coin out and give it to him and started taking my shoes out. And the marketer, the merchant goes, whoa, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I'm taking those shoes. I just gave you one gold coin. He says, these shoes are 4 gold coins. You only gave me 1. And the king would go, what? You should be glad that I'm giving you at least 1 coin. You know, I was going to take the shoes anyway, but I thought you're a nice guy. I'm giving you 1 coin. He's like, well, I don't think so, buddy. You're down in the gutter. You're in the marketplace now. Okay, your kingship and your kingliness doesn't work here anymore. So you better pay me 4 or better get out. Okay, so this is where sun gets into trouble, because sun loses his power. Sun is into the dark world now. His kingdom is up here, but now this other world is controlled by, you know, like trolls, YouTube trolls. And so when a king like me goes in among trolls, I'm going to be blasted off. So you see, this is why sun is considered debilitated, because people don't respect the king there. They won't respect your ego there. And so when your sun goes into the 7th house, the self-esteem and the confidence is pretty much lacking, because you're going to run into people who will not respect you. You're going to run into people who are going to question your authority, who are going to run into people who are going to insult you. And what do these things do since our birth? When we run into this, it gives us who we are. It makes us who we are, meaning that low self-esteem, low confidence. So when your sun is in the 7th house, your kingly self is among the lower class people. What happens is then you try to make a point that no, you better respect me because I'm the king, okay? Or I'm gonna kick your ass next time when you come to my kingdom. And so what happens when sun goes into the 7th house? People become very feisty. They try to be like me. This is mine. Because they're trying to show you that, look, I am something. I am a king. I am a person. I have feelings. I have ego. So don't insult me. So in the 7th house, what happens, if let's say a sun is excelled in the 7th house in Aries, okay, these people will have a very fearful nature amongst other people. Like, people will fear this person. Like, oh God, here comes that guy. Or, oh my God, here comes our boss. You know, it's kind of like that feeling. Because he will try to, you know, instill so much authority on other people, because he wants to be respected, because he wasn't respected before. And so when these people go into business partnership, you know, the things end up breaking up. Like, they'll just say, screw you, I'm going my way, and the other says, I'm going my way, because, you know, it's like, you can't have 2 kings. And this is what happens when people have this in their 7th house. They run into another king in partnerships. So they have to be very careful of that. People with this house could have more than one marriage, or could have more than two marriages, because in marriage they're like, oh, you're not paying me attention, you're not giving me love, you're not giving me the respect, and I'm giving you all of these things. I want it too. While in reality, the other person is your wife or husband, is saying, look, it's not about me giving it to you. It's both of us giving, sharing to one another. But son loses his ego and is trying to find his ego in the seventh house. So then it goes, no, I need more love. I need more affection. I need more of this. I need more of that. I need more authority in this partnership because I don't feel it. I'm not feeling a partnership here. So business break up because the other person like, what? I'm giving you enough authority. Has to be equal. So this is why they say it's in the seventh house, can break a marriage, but that's not always the case, because if you have some other positive influence on the seventh house, if you have Jupiter or somehow Venus is aspecting it in the Nemansha or the D1 chart, your birth chart, then things change. Now let's say if you have a sun debilitated in the seventh house in Libra, okay? So let's say you're Aries rising and your sun was in the seventh house in your birth chart. What is happening now is that even when you try to show your authority, people say, they laugh at you. Because of the fact your sun is not excelled, is still not able to find he's still not able to manage people around them somehow, some way. Because when sun is excelled, he's able to find things in other people and try to manipulate them and say, look, let's work together. And slowly they build their kingship up. When it's debilitated, man, things are it'll be just, no matter how much hard you try, is just people are not going to be appreciating your kingliness. So then what happens is this person says, screw you, F you, here, I'm going to blast all you. So then this becomes a dictator type of a mentality when you have the debilitated sun in this house, because he's like, no, I demand respect. I demand this. I don't care even if you don't like me, you better like me, like Saddam Hussein, like Hitler. Okay, those are the kind of personality that comes up, because since nobody really respects them, they then buy their power with force or with wealth or whatever. Okay, and this is why their marriages kind of don't last either in this, because you are the one who's at fault here. Don't ever think, if sun is in your seventh house, you are the one who's going to have to cooperate and know that everybody is equal. Just like the US Constitution says, all men were created equal. Okay, so you have to remember this when sun is in your seventh house. And like excelled sun would make a good manager. They would really make a good manager, because they'll have the authority to make people work around them. Whether it could be a creative field, or it could be anything to do, even with the law. A good lawyer, a good judge is able to gather people. A good politician, if the sun is good, is nice and dignified, if it's not debilitated, even amongst enemies, even people who don't respect him, somehow, some way, he will be able to, conquer their approval. That all right, fine. You want to do this? Let's do this. Kind of like President Barack Obama, who has sun in the seventh house. Everybody hates him in the Republican Party. They never want to agree to him. But somehow, some way, he started from nowhere and became a president. So this is what happens. So guys, this was my analysis on sun in the seventh house. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because I'm going to be doing all the planets through signs and houses and much more stuff. And if you want to know more about astrology and the secrets of astrology, check out my link below. Check out my articles there and my book, Astrology at the Speed of Light. You'll love it. All right, bye-bye.